how to add text, how to customize text, and even how to animate that text. I'm Lewis from Studio Solus, and in this beginner Davinci Resolve tutorial, let's talk about text, baby. So here I am in Davinci Resolve, and I'm on the edit page down here. To add a title, let's come up to the top left to click Effects, which will open our Effects toolbox. We want to go to Titles, and here we can see many title previews that we can use. I'm going to choose this one, Text. Click and drag onto my timeline here. Now we have basic title in Davinci Resolve. We're done. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Just kidding. Now we want to customize this text just how we want it. So to do that, we're going to click on text so it gets highlighted in red, and we want to come to the inspector. Up here in the top right, click Inspector. This is where we can see all of the controls for our text. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to type my new title. So we can change any text that we want. We can also change things like the fonts. I'm going to come here. We can see the preview if we hover over it, and I'm going to go to my favorites, Fontatica. We can also change the color. If we click here, we can choose from pencil colors. I like to do it this way. We also have the color wheel that we can scroll and drag around and also change its darkness here. Or we can choose from sliders or many other things. Let's go for my color down here. We can also change the sizing. Here we have a scroll bar, a slider, so we can drag. This is quite fiddly, so we can also see the number. It says 301, and we get this horizontal arrow. If we click on it and push it to the left, our title gets smaller. Push to the right, and title gets bigger. I like to change it this way. We also have tracking. This is the space between the letters, or line spacing. If my title was over 2 lines, we can use line spacing to bring those lines closer together or further away. We can also do effects, font style, like underline, or strike through, or subscript, and even change the alignment over here. We can also change position. If we see the numbers here, click and drag to the left, it moves to the left. Or for Y, this is up and down. If we click and move to the left, the title moves down. To the right, title moves up. I want it right in the middle, so I'm going to reset this by clicking this reset icon here. We can even change stroke. If I bring up the size, we can see, where did my title go? Well, our stroke is color black, and so is our background. So we can move this to be white and bring that stroke way down. We can have a nice stroke effect. I don't want this one, so I'm going to reset it. But I might want a drop shadow. Here we have offset. I'm going to move these slightly. But we don't see any change to our title. Well, that's because our drop shadow is black, and so is our background. So instead, I'm going to put a new background on here. I'm going to click on my text, push it up 1 track, go over to generators, and I'm going to choose a solid color and drag it underneath on the track below. And nothing happens. Well, our solid color is also black, so I'm going to change this to a new color. I'm going to put it as gray. Now, if we click again on our title, we come back to our controls here. We can see our drop shadow is not really where we want it, so I'm going to bring it down a bit more to the left, and I'm going to turn down the opacity so it's not so strong. And then we have a subtle shadow on the screen. We can even change backgrounds if we want to. If I push the height up, we can get this box, this outline box. We can push the outline. We can change colors here to whatever we'd like. But I don't want this, so I could reset everything on background, clicking this icon, or I'm going to toggle off background. Maybe I'd want it again later. So now that we've customized our title, we might want to do a few effects or transitions to make it a bit more interesting. I'm going to zoom into my timeline, holding Option and scrolling in. And if I hover over the top left corner of this clip, I get a little handle. I'm going to click that and drag it in. And I'm going to choose this to 15 frames. Now, if we watch it, this is the fade in our title. It will hold, but we want it to do the same on the end. So I'm going to grab this, bring it in 15:2. And when I let it go, the title's going to fade out. So that's one way to do a basic fade in on your title. But you might want to do something a bit more interesting. So I'm going to remove these fades and let's put an animation on our title. If we come over to our effects toolbox and choose video transitions, we can see many different transitions. If we scroll over them, we can see a preview of the effect. This one is being applied to track 1, which is currently my background, but we can see what the effect would look like. I think this one, push, is going to look nice for the title. So I'm going to click and hold on push and drag it to the left side of my clip here until it is visible. Push, let's preview. Now my title is going to slide in. But as you can see, it moves in a linear fashion and it stops very suddenly. So I want to make it a bit smoother. We're going to use some easing. Click on our push transition. In our inspector, we're going to come down to ease, and I'm going to choose in and out. Now if we watch it again, start fast, and it's going to end slow. Nice and smooth, like it's coming to a stop. I want the same thing to happen on the outro of the clip, because currently it just ends. So I'm going to click on push, Command or Control C, and now I'm going to click till my mouse changes to this. We can see a green bar on the end of title, Command V to paste the exact same transition. Now if we watch it, it's going to slide out the other way. So we might want it to go back the way it came. So we're going to click on push, go back to our inspector transition and change to push right. Now it's going to go out the same way that it came in. So that's how we do some basic title transitions. You can mess around with any of these. There are a ton here in Fusion. You could do some interesting ones like a clock, radial. A lot of these I think are a bit extra, not so professional or subtle, but you can experiment. They might work for your project. So at the moment, our title is over a really boring solid color. I want to use it for a real video, so I'm going to open Media Pool up here, and I'm going to drag in a clip that I want to use. This is a clip DJI that I shot on my drone of a nice memorial park near to where I live. If we preview, the drone is just pulling out, and I think this is a great opportunity to put a title on here. So if I re-enable my title and put it here and replay, we can see it slides in, but it doesn't really fit with this, so I'm going to customize it how I might like this title. So I'm going to click on title, go back to inspector, video, title, and I'm going to change it. This was Memorial Park. I think the blue doesn't work so well, so I'm going to click color, and I'm going to change it to white instead. Now I want to move it. I don't want it right over the memorial. I want it up here in the sky. So I could use position like this. I can move it to the side and move it up. But another way we could do it, down here in the bottom left of the viewer, we have transform. If we click on this, now we get handles, and we can click and move it manually up to where we want it. So I'm going to put it about there. I think I want my drop shadow a bit stronger, so it's more visible. I'm going to push that in. And I'm not sure. I don't think the slide is going to work so well. Or let's do this one. Let's have push up. See what happens. Coming the wrong way, I think push down is going to look better. It's going to slide in from the top. Okay, so that's okay. I'm going to delete this one. Command C, copy, and paste it here. So it comes in just about at the right time. If I hold here, so my mouse changes to this icon, we could have it come in a bit earlier. And we can have it hold for as long as you want. At the moment, it's going to fade in or move out there. I want it to move out the same way. Let's change that one to push up. And I'm going to extend it to the end of the clip. Now when we play through, it's going to slide down, hold for a while, and then it's going to slide out. I think that's a bit too long, so I'm going to end my clip earlier, drag it in, drag this into match, and then we can see it's going to move out like that. So there are a ton of other transitions and effects that we could use. That's just one example for this clip. Now, if I decide that I don't like that transition and we want to get a bit more customization, I'm going to remove these transitions here and click on my title. So instead of using effects, we can also manually keyframe motion in Fusion. Keyframing is basically saying I want this parameter to be this value at this point in time. So I know somewhere around here, that's where I want my title to be finished. So I'm going to go on position and click this diamond here till it turns red. That tells Resolve this title should be in this position at this time. Now I'm going to scroll back to the start of the clip and we're going to change it. I'm going to move my position so the title is off of the frame and the keyframe is automatically updated. So now when we play, we can see the title is going to slide in. I want the same to happen, so I'm going to keyframe here, push arrow down to go to the end of the clip, and I'm going to push it out of frame. So now we've manually done the same kind of effects. The title's going to slide down, hold for a few seconds, and then slide out. So that's how to manually keyframe the title. Keyframing is a whole video in itself, so if you're interested to learn more about keyframing, then let me know down in the comments below and I'm happy to help make a new video all about keyframing. So another title that I really like, if I think this one is a bit too emphatic, so I'm going to go back to my effects library, I'm going to close media pool, go to titles, and this time I've got a lot of titles in here. I'm going to go down to choose slide in and scroll lower third. I like this one. I'm going to drag it in to about the same position. Now we can see where it ends up. I'm going to call this one Memorial Park, and small text, I'm going to say UK. So this one is already pre-animated. I like this one. It's going to slide in with those two, hold on screen, and slide out. Maybe I want it to extend to the end. It's going to finish with the end of the clip like that. So these are the basics for adding text, customizing it, and animating it. You can click up here to watch another beginner Davinci Resolve tutorial, or click the playlist down there. This is my first video on the channel, so if you found it helpful, please give it a like, and subscribe to the channel for more Davinci Resolve and budget video editing tutorials. I'm Lewis from Studio Solus. Thanks for watching, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one.